How you doing, fight fans? EJ Boxing live here, and today was a treat for you. We're going to be talking about the slick fighters, and all the slick fighters from Sugar Ray, Ali, Leonard, and going down the line. So we're going to start. Obviously, I'm gonna start going into it and breaking it down. I'm talking about the history of the slick fighters. Well, kind of the history of slick fighters, or where they've come. So obviously, we're gonna start with Sugar Ray Robinson, and then there's his manager. Slick fighters is a kind of fight. It's like I think they used to call it back in the day. They never used to call it a slick fighter. They used to call it like a freestyle fighter, where basically it was just a loose style, pop the jab. It was never a structured fight like the normally one. And obviously, I was talking about the slugger, who basically just comes in, just basically trying to get close and work the body. A slick fighter more or less just use the jab and just works off the jab. Hooks, right hands, and just basically hard to hit, and Sugar Ray Robinson personifies that. One of the best of all time, pound for pound the best of all time. And I don't know where his style originated from, but I'm thinking maybe from Joe Gans, but I can't necessarily think basically it came from Joe Gans unless I talked to trainer. So, but I'm going to start from Sugar Ray Robinson from the 1940s, and basically his style, as even up to now, that people are still kind of using his kind of style, the freestyles, like the slick fighter. As a modern day fighter, basically the foundation of what we call today slick fighters. So moving on, so we got Sugar Ray Robinson when he faced Henry Armstrong. At the time, Henry Armstrong was 33 years old. Sugar Ray Robinson was 22 years old. So he caught Henry Armstrong. It was getting on a bit, but Henry Armstrong came off win. His last win before coming into this fight was against Joey Silva, and Leonard's fights, his last win was against Rudolph. Is it Rudolph? Ralph Zibic, something like that. Zippo. And Ray Robinson lost to Jake Lamar. I think the streak was broken off. I think it was like 80 or 90 fights and his winning streak. Lamar broke that streak at the time, and he lost by unanimous decision. And it was a kind of crossroads fight for Henry Armstrong and Sugar Ray Robinson. And again, this is what's on the Bull and the Matador kind of style. The slugger coming forward, and the slick fighter, the freestyle fighter using his jab. And obviously, like we said, even though Henry Armstrong was coming off notable wins, but he still, obviously, Ray Robinson at 22 years old was too much, and they went to unanimous decision. And Ray Robinson outpointed the legend, which is the freeweight legend at the time, was Henry Armstrong. And Ray Robinson's style, this is where Ray Robinson started, man. I mean, he fought everyone, Ray Robinson, but he starved everyone, basically just easily, like making great fighters look really normal. That's just basically basic and normal. Even had a fight with a guy, he killed a guy in the ring, actually. It's just pretty hard. He could hit hard, had everything, jab, as you can see in this picture here, it's everything I use that time. You can see, look, most of the opponents had the kind of slugger style where they try to get them more. Ray Robinson just used his footwork to get out of evade shots, and it was just hard to hit, man. It was just very hard to hit. When there's no see, Ray Robinson, this is what I'm talking about. His repertoire, his arsenal. He had, like I said, he had every single punch in the book, jabs, uppercut, and look at this uppercut. I think it's on Kid Gatlin's face, and Kid Gatlin, another Hall of Famer, with a right uppercut he could land on you. And you can see, look, he's in no position to even get hit. Even if Kid Gatlin throws his own right hook, Ray Robinson's in a position to either guard it or slip it, whatever. And he just used things to dismantle opponents. And it was effortless. They said it's this the artful, man. You look, his right hand crashing over on his opponents. Ray Robinson was the real, like, artful bogger, what we call the modern bogger. You know what I think? Yeah, I think another slick fighter, probably a bit further, but not slick as, would be Gentleman Jim Corbett. Originated that kind of, he originated the hit and not getting hit kind of style, where you had Johnny O'Sullivan coming forward. But I'll probably do something on that, on his style, and probably based on, because after him there was what's his name again? What's that guy's name again? Gene Tunney. After that, he had the similar style as well. So I don't know, around this time, it's a similar sort of style, but not the same as Ray Robinson's style. Ray Robinson's style speed, uppercut. I mean, they were based about things. They were based about hitting and move. But Ray Robinson's style was completely different. Well, not too much different, but in different with the foot speed and the jab. Look at this, the way he can just hit you and not get hit. It was amazing. It was amazing there. Uppercuts, you know, he had all the punches in the book. Yeah, right hands, uppercuts. You know what I mean? He just all the array of shots, just knew how to dismantle opponents, man. And boy, like you know, Ray Robinson was the truth, man. And Ray Robinson's style impacted a lot of fighters at the time. Notably, at the time, Cassius Clay, who would here just winning his gold medal at the Olympics, the Rome Olympics, at the light heavyweight limit. Cassius Clay built his style off Sugar Ray Robinson. He used to watch Sugar Ray Robinson and really study him and feel like, yeah, that's the style I like, you know. Cassius Clay came into boxing after someone stole his bike and the police officer said, and Cassius Clay at the time wanted to find the young kid, the guy who took his bike, and he found himself in a boxing gym, later become Muhammad Ali as we know him now. Then Cassius Clay collected his gold medal and that, and obviously that everything he basically, Ray Robinson, that was his dude. He loved Ray Robinson, man, and his motto was float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. And he cultivated a lot of things from what we call the slick fighter. Like I said, the same thing but the thing is as a higher weight. So you're Sugar Ray Robinson, who started basically as a welterweight. He probably started a bit lower. I think he even campaigned about lightweight, maybe Sugar Ray Robinson, and obviously middleweight. And then you have Muhammad Ali started at light heavyweight, actually become a heavyweight. There was no cruiserweight division them times there, and started bringing, he had brought his own personality, as you can see, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Ali, you know what I'm saying? Ali started bringing his own things, catchphrases into the game. And you got the Ali shuffle, which was brilliant as well. You know, he used to do the shuffle, but he used to flash his speed, showing his opponents that, you know, he's lightning speed, he's catched, and he had so much energy and this virile just to come into the game. Catchphrase, he was so colourful. And at the time, when he came to the game, Rocky Marciano was kind of leaving the game at the time. So Rocky Marciano was gone. Floyd Patterson lost to Sonny Liston, and Muhammad Ali was coming into the game, and it's just, you know, the style basically, could you say it was a more advanced style than Sugar Ray Robinson? Could be, sort of. Sugar Ray Robinson would people say the benchmark, but you add on the Ali shuffle and the notable styles. But it's just basically Ali. Obviously, every opponent, but basically the foundation is the Sugar Ray Robinson from the Slick Fighter, and Ali just added on his own little things on it because that's his own personality. I'm sure Robinson could add that. You know, Ali flicking the jab was beautiful. You know, see, this is the thing about Ray Robinson, Ali, and them things there. They had notable thing, but Ray Robinson was good at everything. It wasn't just one thing he had, but Ali really invested into the jab, man. He really invested in the jab. I mean, Ray Robinson did, but Ray Robinson loved his right hands and uppercuts, as you saw, and Ali loved them as well. But Ali invested himself into the jabs and basically just mowing down his opponents, flickering that jab, and he used to use that jab to carve up opponents' face, where just blatantly brutality people's face, and then there he is. You see Ali looking at the ground. There he is, and eventually opponents would wilt. I mean, it wasn't necessarily like and the thing about stick fighters, they'll just use their athleticism and their punching repertoire to wear you down. Some of them big hitters. I mean, Ray Robinson's a very big hitter, but I just see him against Rocky Graziano, man. He blew Rocky Graziano out the water, and Jake LaMotta took a beating down in Valentine's Massacre. He took a beating. Ali will just mow you down eventually. I mean, when opponents, they wasn't necessarily scared of Ali when they come in, but when they got in the ring with him, if you wasn't in tip-top shape, which Ali was always in tip-top shape, and your boxing ability, you was going to be outclassed. And that's another way of beating someone down. And Ali could talk to you as well, man. He could talk to you, wear you down with his mouth, collarbone, and all these things, energy thing could just wear you down if you didn't come in tip-top shape. Eventually, I mean, you're getting hit by someone Ali's level, eventually will just end up beating you down. And you see Ali combing the hair of the great Sugar Ray Robinson at the time, who the guy he looked out, Ali getting ready for his fight. against the Bear, Sonny Liston. See Ali walking down with Boudini and Sugar Ray Robinson. A lot of these are rare pictures as well, because most people didn't know that, you know, Ali going to the ring, he believed Sugar Ray Robinson. At the time, Ali was saying that Sugar Ray Robinson, it goes Joe Louis and Sonny Liston are too flat-footed. They need to move like Sugar Ray, and that's why he brought Sugar Ray. He brought Sugar Ray going to his first fight with Sonny Liston to prove that my style is better than your style. Joe Louis was basically saying, yeah, Sonny Liston, that's my type of guy. Ali was saying Sugar Ray was there, and that was the kind of thing to build up the fight, their first fight. No one gave Ali a chance. No one gave him a chance. But Sugar Ray was like, you know, that's who Ali liked. You know, that's his guy, and that's his. So he had Sugar Ray come to the fight. And Ali was predicting then, even then, there's the Angela Dundee in the picture as well. Sugar Robinson trying to hold Ali back, and Ali's just using his mouth, and that's another way to wear down your opponent as well. Ali realized, and unlike Sugar Robinson, who basically, you know, he basically just let his boxing talk. Ali made his mouth. Ali he could brutalize you in the ring and out the ring with his mouth, because words, everyone knows, someone can punch you and, you know, eventually your face will heal, but words stay with you, and Ali was wicked with the words, man. Look, coming from Louisville, Kentucky, down in South, but they used their tongue like a whip, boy. And Ali, he as a young whippersnapper, he picked that up real well, and he used to use his mouth. And Boudini was there as like an echo. They go, rumble, young man, rumble. And everything Ali said, Boudini was there to back him up, and you need that because, you know, when you're that braggadocious stuff like that, you always kind of need someone to rely on. And Boudini was Ali's support. Ed Angela Dundee was an excellent trainer. Used to train Carmen Facilio before, and Ray Robinson, you know, the guru himself, the pound for pound best. I mean, they named pound for pound because Ray Robinson to put in another category, because the heavyweight used to have their own category. So when you got Ray Robinson, the whole thing, hey, you got to think a winner. But even though they had the 7-1 underdog going into the fight, and as you can see in the fight, and as everyone knows, yeah, against Sonny Liston, yeah, it was hard. And you see the things when people want to look at Sonny Liston, he outreached Ali's. Yeah, he had a longer reach than Ali. Yeah, as you can see in this picture here, and he hit hard. Ali's Sonny Liston's jab, yeah, was so hard, yeah, that when he hit you, just throw you back, you know, but he couldn't capitalize on his right hand, and Ali used his own box skill to wear down the older Sonny Liston, and eventually he got the win, boy. And it was everyone was in shock. You see Sonny Liston, he couldn't believe it. Angela Lee going crazy, Ali's just going crazy, man. And eventually they had a rematch, and in the rematch it was the same thing. Ali hit him with a phantom punch, and there he is. And there he is down on the floor, Sonny Liston, man. Didn't see the punch coming, and they keep going. Even you looking at it today, they think, oh, it was a fix, and Sonny pulled Sonny rigged the fight. He you know, they're trying to say how he threw the fight, gamblers and stuff like that, because Sonny was affiliated with the mob, and they feel like he threw the fight, but I don't think so. In my personal belief, I don't think he threw. I actually talked to Paul Gallander about saying he read Sonny Liston's biography. It's on my channel, you can check that out, and he believed that Sonny threw the fight. He believed that people were holding Sonny Liston's wife, and they said if you didn't lose the fight, this, that, the other. But Sonny was a big scary dude, man. If Sonny was coming for you, even people in prison were scared of him. Sonny's known to beat up police officers, so I don't think a couple of Muslim guys holding his wife he's gonna be bothering. And also Sonny Liston used to cheating his wife with this blonde girl as well. This girl with blonde hair, so I don't know how much truth is into that, but and in the day, it doesn't matter. The slick fighter prevailed, and at this point, Ali's changed his name to Muhammad Ali. He's got rid of the name of Cassius Clay, and he embraced the nation of Islam. And this is when Muhammad Ali is born. And listen, bro, he entertained people for at least about 25 years onwards, man. And Ali brutalized opponents. Picture here where one of the opponents wouldn't call him by his name. Ali did brute. This is rare actually, because Ali used to always just go for the head. But what Ali was trying to do to his opponent, yeah, he goes, say my name. Instead of going for the finish to knock the guy out, what he would do, jab to the body and just basically not administer the knockout. But he didn't want to stop the guy. He wanted to punish him for what he said. He wanted to say Ali's name. And this is a lot of opponents, they didn't really and you're coming from a time where people kind of rude in a certain way, where they didn't respect your religious beliefs and whatever. And this opponent here, he took a beating at the hands of Muhammad Ali, and a vicious beating at that. Ali had no mercy for him, and he terrorized, and he used to terrorize opponents with his boxing skills, and Ali was just a pleasure to watch. The slick fighter was in effect, jab, right hands, you can see jab to the body. He had all the punches in the repertoire. It's like Sugar Ray Robinson, who he looked up to. Look at that left hook to the body, everything. He'll beat the opponent down mercifully, and I'll tell you what, and it stood him in good stead, because later on, after he was in exile, because he didn't want to go to the draft, he faced George Foreman. Now this is a different Ali, not like Ray, and like Ray Robinson as well, kind of late in the age, where you're not using so much foot speed, but still have a tremendous jab and a right hand. And basically what he used, it was basically stay on the rope, called this rope-a-dope, where he let George Foreman throw punches. Ali used himself almost like a punching bag. I don't think that would be allowed these days. He'd have to throw punches, but he was throwing punches. George Foreman punched himself out. George Foreman won the heavyweight championship by knocking out Joe Frazier, the undefeated Joe Frazier, by the way. And Joe Frazier was the first guy to administer Ali with the first loss on his record. So George Foreman knocked him out in Jamaica, and Ali had this fight in Zaire, and Ali was expected to win again against Sonny Liston, and he come through it again, and his boxing skills, what he's doing all his life, came to par. And I'll tell you what a combination he knocked George Foreman out with. Beautiful 1-2 combination. As he was falling to the ground, they stood over him, and it was beautiful. And I tell you what, the way Ali fought that day, boy, his style was replicated all worldwide, man. What beautiful. Here is in color as well. It's a beautiful punch, man. Beautiful punch. And I tell you what, and this is what I'm gonna say about the slick fighters. They have everything. Most slick fighters, they have everything. See George Foreman, that was it, man. As he had enough, man. He had enough. He rang the bell in. And so Ali was so what could I say, polarizing. In his era, from the 60s, the 60s, maybe mid 60s, late 60s, 70s, into the 80s. 64, I think and Talk No More, I think it was 64, around them times there, in the 70s, that he had a fight with Chuck Webner, and ringside was Sylvester Stallone, who was watching the fight, and at the time, Chuck Webner, no one gave him a shot. He knocked the Ali down. Well, Ali slipped over his foot, whatever, and Sylvester Stallone made a movie out of it now, and in this movie, stylistically, you had Apollo, who's basically a Greek god. His style was like Muhammad Ali, and you had an Italian guy, and his style was like Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier was in the movie as well, and basically, to me, the stylistic, the way they fought was like Ali and Frazier #1. That's how that fight was. But instead of having Frazier, you had an Italian guy representing like Rocky Marciano, and you kind of wonder how that fight would have happened. Boy, if I tell you what, I think Ali would have put it on him. But hey, Rocky Marciano is undefeated, so you never know. People always talk about that a bit. People more talk about Mike Tyson versus Ali, but at the time, a lot of people used to talk about how would Ali go against Rocky Marciano. They actually had a computer generated computer thing where these two were both Ali and Rocky Monster in it, and both, I think it was a draw actually, and this is when Ali was in exile. And anyway, Sylvester Stallone made a movie, and as we know, we got all the Rocky series, Rocky 1, Rocky 2, 3, 4, 5. We have Creed, and the other movies here, Balboa. So there's loads of spin-offs of the movie, but basically it all came down to the same thing. He saw Muhammad Ali at the time versus Chuck Webner, and he got the idea. Ali should have got rights from this or something like that, because Chuck Webner got money out of this, the movie. He actually sued Sylvester Stallone, and they paid him off. They gave Chuck Webner his money, and Chuck Webner felt like Balboa for his whole career. So now, as Ali's coming to the end of his career, near the end of his career, great epic fights. The next guy to step in, we've got Sugar Ray Leonard. Now, Sugar Ray Leonard, not like Ali. He idolized Muhammad Ali, as Muhammad Ali idolized Sugar Ray Robinson, and this is what I'm saying. It's the generation of the next generation and the next generation. As you can see, the three of them in this rare picture together. Ali was coming kind of the ending of his career, and Leonard's just starting his career. And listen, so basically he had to me, I think he was more. To me, he was more like Robertson, because I'll give you why he's more like Robertson, because his power. He had power like Robertson, but he had the Ali flair. You know, he had the Ali flair. He had his own little thing. He had the bolo. He had the swing. Ali used to swing his hand like that. He had Ali stuff. He's so much like Ali. I'll tell you how much I liked Ali, boy. He picked up Ali's trainer and everything. But I'm gonna show you that picture in a sec. So Sugar Ray Leonard is born, and Sugar Ray Leonard, he knows that he wants to idolize Muhammad Ali, and the same way where basically Ali went to the Olympics and captured a gold medal. So you can see over here in the pictures, Sugar Ray Leonard done the same thing as Ali, and obviously he's a lightweight, so he's coming from a lightweight division, same like Sugar Ray Robertson, yeah, and the same freestyle, the slick fighter, same exhibit, the same thing, hand speed, foot speed, had all the punches in the book, beautiful to watch, and a great smile and great personality, and he was the next guy coming in, and you got here picturing with his gold medal around his neck, and he's born now. We've got another decade of the slick fighter coming through, man. I'm telling you, and people couldn't wait. He got paid so much money to come on amateur. He won the gold medal in Montreal, by the way. It was just a great time, man. Everyone endorsed him. They liked him, smiley, happy-go-lucky. And yeah, he turned pro, got paid enough money, and he signed with Angelo Dundee here in this picture here, Ali's trainer. Remember Angelo Dundee trained Carmen Vasilio, and obviously now he was training Ali at the time. Ali's career is over, so to speak. This is in the 80s now. I think it was 79, actually, around 79. Ali's career is kind of coming to an end. I think Ali's last fight was against Larry Holmes, whatever. I think that was in 98. But anyway, so Angelo Dundee picked up with Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard now has won the gold medal, coming out. And Sugar Ray Leonard, man, listen, this kid, yeah, everything, just like Sugar Ray Robertson, he even get Wilfred Benitez. This is when he captured his welterweight championship, yeah. And I tell you what, man, it was beautiful display, knocking Benitez down to the ground. And I tell you what, man, this kid was born, and he's stylistic, everything like Sugar Ray Robertson, and people loved him, man, loved him. The same style, Ali, Ray Robertson, everything, all the punches in the book, man, everything going on, until he met Roberto Duran, who was another great fighter himself, one of the greatest lightweights of all time, coming up. And he met him in Montreal, and he's more experienced, a bit more veteran. He drawed Ray Robertson into a fight where Ray Robertson, uses boxing skills in the same like Ray Robertson and Jake LaMotta kind of thing, where Jake LaMotta, when the first thing, drawed him into a fight, where Ali got drawn into a fight against Joe Frazier, and he got the first loss on his record. But in the rematch, he came back in ferocious style, made Duran quit, Nomaz. And that's what people remember, man. He got so frustrated he couldn't hit him. So frustrated is Roberto Duran, he couldn't hit him. And Leonard catches his I think his WBC welterweight championship back from Roberto Duran. And Roberto Duran didn't even know what was going on. He was celebrating while Leonard was ready for the fight, and he outpointed him easy. He could have outpointed him easy, but Roberto couldn't take it no more. He was just getting punched up. Couldn't do anything. He couldn't touch them, and that's how you fight. And this is what I'm saying. Ray Robertson could have fought that way, but it shows that these fighters can fight inside if they want to. But they chose the same with Ray Robertson, and they say the same for Ali. Why didn't he stand there? Why should you stand there if you've got better foot speed and hand speed and you got mutual reach? You don't need to stand there. And these fighters are just a marvel to watch. And the slick fighter Ray Robertson, from Ray Robertson to Ali, moving on, used all the assets he can to dispose of Roberto Duran and make him quit. And and then you go Leonard, one of Leonard's greatest fights of all time, one of the greatest fights you ever see stylistically. You got Hitman's Hand, Thomas the Hitman's Hand. I think it was called a Motor City Crowbar at this point. And Leonard was losing on all scorecards, because the thing about it, most of the slick fighters, actually, most of them, they usually outreach. I mean, when Ali went against Sonny Liston, he was short on his reach, but most of the time Ali used to have the reach advantage on him or the hand speed. But this time against Leonard, boy, Hearns had a complete reach longer than Leonard, and Leonard had to be the slugger in this fight stylistically. And that's the thing. Another thing I could say about the slick fights, they're like chameleons. They actually can slug if they want to, but they choose to don't want to be hit. They love their looks. They like looking pretty. You know, after they finish the fight, it's not like if they even been in the fight. And Leonard in this fight, he got bashed up, and it showed how tough he was. But this is because Angelo Lundy was in his corner. You're blowing it, kid. Using all the stuff. Like Ali was in the corner when Ali got knocked down by Henry Cooper, and when Ali couldn't see properly against Ali Liston, and he wore all of his experience and he used on Leonard and made Leonard, gave Leonard some inspiration. With Leonard rallied back, to eventually beat Tommy Hearns, man. At least his right hand cracked across the jaw of Tommy Hearns. Tommy Hearns was winning all the scorecards, and eventually, man, he beat him down, but he beat him down and eventually stopped him, man. And that was a tremendous fight. And again, Tommy Hearns, like Roberto Jones, tremendous. I think he ended up 6-weight champion. Tremendous fighter. And then gonna encapsulate Sugar Ray Leonard's career. He had to retire shortly after the fight with Tommy Hearns because of the tetrarachna. I think it was 5 years in the making. He was supposed to fight Marvin Hagler. Marvin Hagler was the middleweight champion, another tremendous, devastating middleweight champion, and he came out of retirement, and I think at 30 years old, and he ended up outputting the iron-fisted Marvin Marvelous Marvin Hagler. And I swear down, everyone watched it, people think, oh, Hagler. When I watch it, it's hard to press to me that when I watched this fight that Leonard didn't win the fight on showmanship. And I think end of the day, if you're scoring more punches than the opponent, they're gonna have it. But Hagler, but this is the thing that when you're watching fights, usually it's the even though someone could outpoint you, it's the punch power. If the power is registering on your body, usually people go with that, even though someone could be outscoring you. It's the damage, shall I say. The damage is scoring. Hagler was hitting very hard punches on Leonard, but Leonard just round like the last minute, Leonard put flurries in, but he'll put some work in the round. They use his foot speed, and most people, observers, thought Hagler would have won the fight. Hagler came out in the first fight, in this fight here, and he fought as an orthodox when he's a southpaw, and people don't understand why he did that, but I think he was thinking to play. But I think he must have forgot that Hagler usually does 15 rounders. At the time, a lot of fighters was doing 15. This fight was scheduled for 12 rounds, so Hagler didn't have them last 3 rounds whatever to administer the damage, which he was coming on strong. Leonard just rallied through in a beautiful fight of styles blending well, Hagler, what you call a boxer puncher. Well, basically, he works off a high guard and works behind his jab and everything. Leonard, like I said, the freestyle, also what we call a slick fighter, moving around, jab, you're working his jab around the body, hooks, tie you up, wait for referees to break, come out, and that's what he'll use all them styles, all his styles to maneuver against Hagler, and it worked to a treat, man. And he ended up picking up the middleweight championship of the world from welterweight to middleweight. And I tell you what, man, it was spectacular. Shortly after that, man, he continued fighting. He took away the light heavyweight champion and the super middleweight champion at the same time against Donnie Lung. Donnie Lung was scoring some punches on Leonard. He really rocked Leonard with one punch, but that was it, man. Donnie Lung got caught with a massive right hand, and that was it. Sent him tumbling to the canvas, and then at that point picks up 2 belts at this time. Leonard's all-time great, and like I said, from Sugar Ray Robinson to Muhammad Ali to Sugar Ray Leonard, great fights. And the slick fighters always been in some of the greatest fighters, and they exhibit everything they can. But it's a special kind of fighter to pick up them sort of attributes, and if you could master them as a fighter, you're gonna be some kind of fighter. So Leonard was the next guy coming through. So we're moving on, to the next guy coming through, and the next guy coming through, Michael second to none. And this kid, Michael second to none, was the truth at the time, beating Sambo Cannon-Bay, beating loads of really good fighters at the time coming through. And he liked Sugar Ray Leonard. I think at the time, maybe they were supposed to fight or something like that, but he really liked Sugar Ray Leonard, also like Muhammad Ali as well. And he picked up with Andrew Dundee as his trainer, and because obviously like he was like Ali and like Leonard, and he exhibited. He's a southpaw as well, so he wasn't the same as Muhammad Ali, Ray Robertson, and Leonard. Southpaw, but beautiful, slick southpaw. He could hit hard, but he wasn't necessarily a big puncher. So he's more like the Ali kind of slick fighter, where he could outpoint you, but he could hit you, could hurt. Donny, he beating up what's his name again? Don Curry, knocking out Don Curry and them guys. I think he go against Aaron Bartley. Aaron Bartley was a tough fight with him. It was a very, very close fight with Aaron Bartley, but very good fights. He went in some really good fights, and then eventually he met the old boxer puncher, more with the Philly kind of shell. He went against, and this is some of the, like I said, some of the opponents I think that's one road down. I think he outpointed. I'm not too sure about this opponent here, but yeah, outpointed a lot of opponents. But anyways, fighting against the stick fighter in James Toney, where he was winning all the score kinds in his hometown of Iowa and Davenport, Iowa, and it was a hometown fighting for him, and James Toney, man, just mustered some slick fighting. As Nunn was putting it on him, he caught him with this wicked counter and just sprawled him up to the ground. As you can see, when he's throwing the punches, Nunn is moving in, and he caught him with this wicked hook, then a right hook, and then Nunn was down, and then the next thing you know, he hit him again, and then the referee stopped the fight, and James Toney becomes the new IBF super middleweight champion of the world, man. And it was just like, it was a shock all around the world, vibrating all around. There's James Toney and his manager, and it was a shock, man. It was a shock. And like, hey, you didn't speak. And shortly after that, Michael Nunn, he kicked up another butt, but it wasn't the same again. And it was unfortunate as well. But the slick fighter, when you get caught, you get caught. Boy, it's different. No, like chins, Leonard, Ray Robertson, Ali, they had good chins. Michael Nunn had a good chin, but boy, getting hit by James Toney ain't no joke. I can tell you that. James Toney went on to do great things in boxing as well. And the next guy coming through, who basically exhibit all the styles from Ray Robertson, combination from Ray Robertson, is Roy Jones Jr. And you see Ali looking at him at the time. Ali looking at Ray. He basically the mold of Ray Robertson, a bit of Ali, everything. Ray. I think it was a combination of Ray Robertson, Leonard, Muhammad Ali, and all of them three. I think he basically used all them three. And listen, Roy Jones Jr. was something, boy. Roy Jones Jr. is a special fighter, boy. Telling me, but he was the mold of Muhammad Ali and Ray Robertson, no doubt about it. Came off the same kind of move, uses athleticism, speed, so just basically outmaneuver most opponents. Yeah, and I tell you, it was a pleasure to watch. You see Roy Jones Jr. in the Olympics. Yeah, this is the thing. It was the Olympics. He was outpointing the Korean easily. I didn't give the Korean no rounds whatsoever, and they robbed him. They robbed him in the scorecards, and it was just terrible. It was a travesty. Even the Korean couldn't believe it. As he's looking at Roy Jones, looking in his face, he couldn't believe what happened. No one could believe what happened. One of the worst decisions in amateur boxing. So much they actually changed the They changed the decision. No, they changed the scoring cards to this point system, which is terrible. And amateur boxing was never in this game again for almost over a decade, and it was terrible. So you see Roy Jones there. He got later awarded the Valbaka fighter of the tournament and that, but it wasn't the same. You see Roy Jones unhappy, he's collecting his silver medal, but he really should be sitting there right at the top with his gold medal. And Roy Jones went on to great things, man. He went on to great things, outputting the legendary Bernard Hopkins to pick up his first title at the middleweight limit. And like I said, with the same thing, jab, right hand, hooks, he had it all, uppercuts. He had beautiful uppercut, but Roy Jones' special punch was his left hook. And remember James Toney, who beat Michael Nunn? Well, Roy Jones Jr. went in, moved up after beating Bernard Hopkins, moved up to the super middleweight limit and soundly outpointed James Toney, embarrassed him. In fact, embarrassed them. Left hook display made James Toney look like James Toney shouldn't be in the ring with him, and it was an excellent exhibition of fisticuffs fighting. And Roy Jones, boy, listen, it was hard to press to keep the Roy Jones down, man. Roy Jones was born he was that fighter. Roy Jones, yeah, as you can see here on the cover of the Ring magazine belt, is the new guy. He's got a linear super middleweight belt after beating James Toney. And Roy Jones was born, man. He was born fight of the year. Eventually, hey, I forgot to say fight of the decade, yeah, Roy Jones became. But look at these left hooks here in this picture against Gonzalez. Textbook left hook punches he'd catch his opponents with, and this is what I'm saying to you. And like Ray Robertson, Ali, and Leonard, he beautiful punches here. Here's another picture. He was outputting this opponent from Australia. I can't remember his name now. And all you're seeing in Roy Jones, yeah, when you look back on his highlight reels of what he's do to your opponents, because his skill set was so much above everyone else's. He could easily outpoint anyone. And you see him, look at the opponent, bang. I think it's Glenn. I think his name was Glenn something. Look at this. See him moving over that, and then bang, catch him a left hook, and he knocked him down. The referee, the fighter didn't even see what happened. And look at that. How can you just be able to move that swiftly out of the way and then be able to counter your opponent with that beautiful left hook? And that's what Roy Jones is about. Look at that from another angle. Move left, right, and bang, out there, and he stepped out to the side, man. They were good. They see the opponent trying to send. I can't remember his name was Glenn something, whatever. But he just made the guy look so silly, and he was doing it to loads of opponents. Roy Jones become pound for pound one of the best in boxing. Sugar Ray Robertson, when he was doing it, Ali, I don't think they became pound for pound since Roy Jones. Actually, Michael Nunn was pound for pound. As well. And Roy Jones clapped all the belts at the light heavyweight limit and became the undisputed light heavyweight champion. So much so that he was dominating his division, so much so that he moved up to heavyweight, facing John Maurice. And boy, listen, I didn't give him much of a chance to go against John Maurice. I think, boy, you know what? Maybe it's a limit too much. He skipped the cruiserweight limit, went straight up there, and soundly outputted the heavyweight. Picked up a version of the heavyweight belt against John Ruiz. My dreams think it could happen. The man Roy Jones started at light middle. So from light middle all the way to heavyweight division, and outpointed one of the heavyweight champions. He was a good heavyweight champion. He actually beat Evander Holyfield actually. So like I said, some of these great fighters, these slick fighters, or the freestyle fighters, whatever you want to say, they've been pound for pound the best in boxing. Their style. Roy Jones exhibit everything, and this is Roy Jones at his very best when he outpointed John Maurice. And in his mode, in his time, Roy Jones is straight. He's still actually fighting now. Most people say he should retire, but Roy Jones is a great fighter. And like I said, from Ray Robertson, all the rest. And next guy coming through who exhibit the same kind of style is Terence Bud Crawford. Here, when he came to Scotland over here in the UK and outpointed Ricky Burns to capture his WBO lightweight championship, he exhibited the same style as Ray Robertson, Leonard, Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali, and Roy Jones. Roy Jones even say similar, same thing. Work off this jab, right hand. He ain't got the foot speed as other. He's definitely got the hand speed, because he's not as quick as a foot speed as some of the others we mentioned. Yeah, their foot speed, but hand speed very good. Yeah, left hook very good. Right hand very good. He's off, and he's a switch hitter as well. He can change from starts to starts. Very, very good, very good. And it's the same mold. And all these fighters, what I'm mentioning there, all these fighters exhibit the same kind of foundation what came from Sugar Ray Robertson. As you can see him outputting Ricky Burns at the time. Ricky was very good at his long jab, and Crawford done very good to know how to evade it. And this is the thing about Crawford, he's like a chameleon, again, like a Ray Leonard. He realized when he gets certain fighters, he'll turn into a slugger and come after you. He'll come after you and really give it to you. And he picked up the WBO belt, his first championship against Ricky Burns. Ricky made Ricky Burns look silly, man. Ricky Burns looks completely outclassed. He's so out of range. Ricky Burns was a very good fighter actually. He actually a 2-weight champion, and he just easily outclassed him. Very, very easy. Ricky Burns, man. Just completely befuddled Ricky Burns. Look at that. Ricky Burns just took a good old-fashioned beating in Glasgow, Scotland. He got a note. Ricky Burns, yeah, he's a good fighter. He's still continuing now. And like I said, with Terence Crawford, he's got all the punches in the book. Right hand, left hook. You know, it's not as fast as maybe Roy Jones and Ray Robertson and Ray Leonard on his feet and that, but the combinations there, has all the. You can't really say he's got one weakness when you talk about punch repertoire. All the punch repertoire are perfect and stuff like that. So there he is picking up his belt, and he couldn't believe it. Was crying. You know, he came all, and that's another thing as well. Come to another man's country and to take away his belt. That's actually very big. And instead of like going for an easy challenge, easy title defense, again, like he predecessors like Roy Jones and stuff. Roy Jones' first title shot against Bernard Hopkins, instead of staying there, he moved up and went against James Toney for the very best. You know what Terence Crawford did? He went against one of the undefeated at the time, one of the great featherweight, against Yuri Gamboa. And I tell you what, that fight was the fight of the year. What an excellent fight. Even young Yuri Gamboa is smaller. He's excellent. Everything. He's a short guy, but they put on a great fight. Yuri Gamboa, he stunned Crawford a bit, but Crawford wasn't relentless, boy. He came on, and this is a fight in Omaha, Nebraska. Crawford came out, jabs, right hand, and you can see him switching starts. And both of them, both of these guys are very, very good. Boy, he picking up his belt, defending his belt, and that's his first defense of the belt. And you know, beating someone like Yuri Gamboa in your first defense is very impressive. Is a very impressive feat. Yeah, and I think he became Fighter of the Year that year. And like I said, Leonard, Fighter of the Decade. Ray Robertson, pound for pound. Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest of all time. And the second defense against Raymond Beltran is Bud Crawford, a very good fighter who actually came to Scotland and fought Ricky Burns, and he actually got a draw, and where everyone thought he actually won that fight. And it was a very listen, done the same thing to a very good challenger in Ray Beltran, and Terence Bud just retained his WBO championship again, man, in spectacular fashion. And I tell you what, yeah, like you never see these type of fighters in never see these fighters or boring fighters. They come to fight, and they're slick fighters, and they come to bring the pain when they come to fight. Terence Crawford is the next one to watch, and you guys, yeah, from the same mold of Ray Robertson, Leonard, and Ali, and the rest of them, and Roy Jones, he's the next guy. And you see, like this picture, Ali from the greatest, from the start. It just shows like boxing and Dustin Ladd, that it's got a lineage of the slick fighters come through. I mean, there's other slick fighters I'm gonna mention about Mayweather and the Philly Shell. I'm gonna do a fight on the Philly Shell and where it came from. What's his name again? Georgie Benton and these guys, yeah, who basically started off the Philly Shell, and these guys there, Archie Moore and his own. But these are the slick fighters: Ray Robertson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali. Yeah, basically, these fighters out here, the next generation of they were the next generation of building the slick fighters. And then you catch them in this rare picture here. Is you know, they're all different, but they're slick fighters there, and they're very hard to deal with. And over you got Roy Jones, man. Roy Jones was the next one, and obviously you had Terence Crawford, and yeah, that's it, man. More or less slick fighters, one of the greatest style in boxing, that always going to be great fights. Right now, Terence Crawford has picked up the same mold as Sugar Ray Robertson and all the rest of them. So I hope you liked this video on the slick fighters. Leave your comments in the comment section, and our next one I'll probably do is do one on the Philly show. That's all I've got to say, man. So I'm EJ Boxing Live, and I'll catch you next one. Alright, peace.